Crush is somebody who has shot up the rankings very quickly. In 2017, for this year, he was ranked at 15th. The previous year, 2016, he was ranked 49th. And then before that, he was 96th. Okay, so over 3 years span, he went from, nobody on the top 100 all the way up to 15th. And I believe that this year for Crush, 2018, is the make or break year if he wants to become a god level talent in Melee. And the reason that I've come to this conclusion is because I'm looking at the people who have done it before him. So Plup obviously just won Genesis, and he has reached that level of any tournament he goes to, he can win. Doesn't matter who's there. And before that was Leffen. So those being the two most recent examples, I'll kind of show you how they got there, and how Crush, if he wants to get there, I think we'll have to do it this year in 2018. So if you go for the first example, Leffen, in 2013, SSBM rank had Leffen at 14, so just about the same rank that Crush is at now. 2014 was a big year for Leffen. That's where he went from 14th up to 6th. That's the year that he leapfrogged over Ice, Pew Pew, Axe, SFAT, Kirby Kaze, Shroomed, Hacks, all those players. He jumped over them that year, ended up at 6th. And of course, ever since then, 2014, 15, 16, 17, obviously he's been in top 6 rank for all of those years. And if you look at the next player, that would obviously be Plup, who made this jump. In 2013, Plup was ranked 27th. Then 2014 rose up to 16th, and there's that year where he's 16th, just around the same level that Crush is right now. The next year after that, 2015, that's when Plup rose up to number 7. Of course, leapfrogging basically all of those same players. Shroomed, Pew Pew, Lucky, Cobble, West Balls, Axe, Hacks. That was his year from 2014 to 2015, where he jumped past all those players, and of course ever since then has been top 7. So looking at how those two players did it, they sort of went from the same range where Crush is, top 15, just about on the fringe there, and then the very next year rising up to being in the top 6, 7 range. So I think that this year is definitely the year that he's got to do it, if he wants to be a god level talent like these other players. And sort of to give you the examples of people who haven't done it, Axe, of course, being the classic example of someone who's there but not there. He's at that level, but he is not going to be winning tournaments, at least not foreseeably in the near future. So if you look at his rankings, he went 11 to 7, then down to 9, then 9 again, and then this year 7. I would say the big difference between Axe at 7 and someone like Leffen or Plup is when Leffen, when Leffen was in this range where Axe is at right now, ranked 7th. Leffen was winning tournaments and he was beating gods, and he was able to. I believe it was 2015 was when he finally beat every god. So that was the year after he jumped up to rank 6. And Axe has been at this level, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's been at that level for consecutive years, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. He's been at that level, and he has never been every god, first of all. And he's never one of those players where when it comes into Evo, it's unreasonable to think Axe is actually going to win that. Whereas Leffen, even in 2015, for 2015, he was actually the favorite to win Evo. if everyone remembers correctly. He had just had those string of like 3 or 4 tournaments in a row where he pretty much dominated everybody, and he looked like the best player in the room. Going into Evo, of course, that's not how it happened, and he ended up ranked 3rd for that year. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think that it seems like people generally have sort of like a meteoric rise up to a certain point, and then they kind of stay there. Another example I can give you is Nunn. Nunn in, let's see here, 2015 was ranked 58th, and that was his first time being ranked, I believe, on SSBM. And then the following year, Nunn jumped up to 18. So he jumped 40 placings up to 18. And 18, it's kind of near that level where it's time for him either this year or next year to make that jump if he's going to be at the God level. So that would be in 2016. He was 18th. This past year, 20th. And so, it kind of seems like that's sort of where he's going to be. Top 20, probably not top 10. That kind of just seems like his level where it's going to be at. West Balls, another example. He's someone that's been at, let's see here, 2013, West Balls was 23rd. 2014, West Balls jumped to 9. So there's his big jump. 2015, West Balls 8. 2016, West Balls 8. 2017, of course, this year he dropped quite a bit, 18. So you can sort of see how these players have sort of like a big jump up to, sort of where their highest level is going to be, and then they sort of level off right there. It's very unusual for a player to make a big jump, stay there for a couple years, and then make another big jump. So kind of a short thing. That's why I think 2018 is going to be the year for Crush. If he wants to make it into that top level, it's got to be this year. And I think if he stays around the 15 level this year, then that's probably where he's going to be for the rest of his career.